All right. Please.
Had a strong first quarter there.
Really good first quarter.
And then after that, was it an adjustment Virginia made and getting you guys out of transition, or was it taking the foot off the gas pedal?
I thought we lost a little focus. I mean, we came out and scored the first 4 points of the second quarter, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, we're about to put this thing away. But that's kind of been our MO this entire season. We get it up to 20, and we just can't finish it off to where now all of a sudden you've got it at 26 or 27. We did do that at Miami, but, we're up 20 at North Carolina. We're up 19, and then we're at a point now where every time we have a mental breakdown on defense, we get scored on. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Every single time we have a breakdown, it leads to a bucket. And I'm like, guys, we got to just follow the scouting report. Like, if I say so-and-so's not a shooter and they shoot and make it, that's my fault. But when we're telling you what they do and then we gamble on something and all of a sudden it gives somebody an easy look, well, we just can't do that. And that's one of the things I keep challenging them with is just follow a scouting report. And if it doesn't work, we'll switch it. But give us a chance to see if the plan we're putting in place is going to work. As anemic at times that we were at the offensive end, we still figured out a way to score 71 points. So that's pretty impressive in its own way. But we just got to get to a point where we're just a little more consistent to where we can just continually build and build and build instead of going 4 or 5 minutes without scoring the basketball.
Coach E had a big game for you on the boards for you tonight with 12 rebounds, and she's been doing that over the last couple games. Just talk about what's gotten into her lately as far as that progression.
Well, I was really pleased with how she rebounded the ball. And that's something that she's really been focusing on, just to try to get more of an all-around game. What I've got to get her to do is continue to focus at the defensive end, which she is. It's been a change. It's been a change for her and Liz in the terms of how we play and what's expected, because we don't guard every player the same way. On one player, we might hedge the ball screen. The next kid, we might go under the ball screen. So you've got to know who's coming off the ball screen. So, it's difficult, but it's doable because we've done it the past 13 years. But if we can figure that out and get that down, then all of a sudden it changes what we're able to do. And for those two, it really is their freshman year. I know they came in here, they're transfers and they're sophomores, but for us, it's their first year. It's their freshman year. So I've been pleased with the growth they've made. I'm really happy with how Elizabeth Dixon is starting to play at the defensive end of the floor, because that's where I need her to really continue to focus. And then the offensive end will come. She took a nice shot, she just missed it, and then a great effort on the offensive board that would have been a spectacular finish. It just unfortunately did not go in. But what we need to do is continue to be a presence in the paint for us.
Coach, that first quarter, Virginia I think they had like a very small lead, but it seemed like you guys really turned up the pressure there. Was that kind of what the difference you think for when you guys are able to put distance between you and them?
Yeah, I thought we did a really nice job there in the first half on sideline situations where we were able to press and throw some traps at them. We scored off of that. And then we started off scoring the basketball. We're 10 for 14 in the first quarter. The problem is they were 6 of 14. We've just got to do a better job of not giving people easy opportunities to score. And that's something that we continue to work on, and, we'll keep working on it. It's a little bit of everything. We just, like I said, they're playing hard. It's not that they're playing hard. It's just that you've got to stay focused. You've got to continue to grind it out, continue to know what we're looking for. And then when we stand off the ball, that's when we really get stagnant. When you see us just standing there, when somebody else has the ball and we're watching each other, that's when we're bad. When you see us moving off the ball, a lot of good things can happen. You know, when you drive it, the help's not there because they're worried about you moving. We made a couple really nice passes off of drives because the weak side guards were screening for each other. Those are things we just have to get more consistent with.
Coach, Jazz, I think, went scoreless in the first half, but lit it up in the second half. Is that a sign of her maturity that she'll have the ability, perhaps in future games where this might happen as well, to kind of turn it on exactly when you need it?
Well, she fouled. I mean, you know, she took herself out of the first half because she picked up 2 fouls, and that's one thing that she had not done the past 9 games. I'd really been proud of her because she had been staying out of foul trouble. When you pick up that first one, you can't get a charge call for your second one. It's just you got to understand the game. You can't put yourself in that position where it's even a 50-50 call. And that's something I talked with Jazz, and she's great. I mean, they all want to be great basketball players. It's just it's a learning process, and you got to give Virginia credit. They played scout and report defense. They backed off of non-shooters, challenged them to shoot, and we've got to be able to step up and knock down 8 to 10 foot jump shots.
Coach, it was a little shorter bench tonight. Molly, of course, wasn't there. Jess wasn't there. It's the flu bug.
Sick, yeah. Yep, just sick. Jess was diagnosed with the flu, so when Molly started not feeling good and Romani wasn't feeling good, it's like we just keep them away, quarantine them, so we don't get everybody else sick. So, yes, that's what it was.
Coach, you now know you have the talent to win games like this, but like you said, it's the next step, closing out games like this when you're up 21 and not letting teams get back in it.
Oh, there's no question about that, and we've talked to our kids about that. It's like just when you get it to 21, that's when you got to be dialed in even more to the defensive end. We're not going to hold anybody scoreless, you know, and I understand that. I'm not the kids make shots, and I'm like, that's a nice shot, you know, but we just have to make them take the shots we want them to take.
How much did Yassine and Mikasa play in that run there at the end of the first quarter? It seemed like, especially when Yassine came in, it seemed like she brought an energy that really wasn't there at the beginning of the game.
No, she did. I mean, that's the one thing I'll say about Yassine is she plays so hard. She always plays hard at both ends of the floor. So I've just got to continue to work with her on, you know, and I put her in a position where she has to know the 3 and the 4. So especially when we got in some foul trouble, Bianca's got 2, Liz Dixon's got 2. So now all of a sudden she has to move to the 4. You know, her or Jazz, but Jazz had 2 fouls. So that's the tough part about this as a player. It's like it's easier to go from 2 to 3 because it's a wing. But now all of a sudden you're going from 3 to 4. You got to be able to know the wing and the post. And she struggled at times with that, running some plays. So when we get back to practice tomorrow and Saturday, I'll probably just put in I'll give her 4 or 5 things that she needs to know at the 4. So then she doesn't have to worry about knowing all of them. And then I'll know, hey, here are the 5 things that I'm going to call. But she's really been playing hard. I've really been impressed with how she competes.
Jeff, when you're getting 12 rebounds from Elizabeth, how much does that help make it easier for everybody else? And I mean, I always say when the guards rebound, it obviously makes it easier on the bigs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it allows us to push the ball, too. See, when our guard gets a board, we don't need to outlet it to anybody. They can just turn and go. And I really believe that's how we got a few of our transition baskets in the first half. And then we really didn't get much in the second half in terms of transition baskets. Now, Dana comes up with 3 steals tonight, which I was really impressed with how she ended up starting to pressure the ball and came up with some big ones that kind of gave us some more separation as they closed the gap.
Win number 350, I know it's in the big picture of this season, it doesn't mean much, but still a nice milestone.
No, I mean, I've been very blessed to work with a great staff. I mean, you know, Michelle's up there at Cincinnati, started with this, Beth Ann Ord at Binghamton. You know, Cam is now down at Florida. Sam Williams at Eastern Kentucky. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have just some wonderful people that I've had the opportunity to work with. And, you know, Steph's been here for all 13 years. She's a rock. She knows. I mean, she don't even have to ask me things when it comes to recruiting and what we're doing around the office. She knows. Sam Purcell's been busting his tail, and and JP's been good. So when you have a great staff, it makes things easier. And then at the end of the day, players win games. Coaches get way too much credit for wins, and I always laugh because then we get way too much blame for losses. The players are the ones that step up and make the plays. Our jobs are to put them in situations where they can try to have success, but they're the ones that have to make a read. If you come off a ball screen and you're getting trapped one possession, you have to make that read. But no, I mean it's been a great run. I mean it's 13 years of I think expectations that are pretty high around here for women's basketball. I mean we're sitting here at 18-1 or 19-1, whatever we are, and I really don't know if people really expected that after we graduated Asia, Sam Fearing, and Erica Carter. We had 3 players that graduated that were drafted. So I'm just impressed with what we've been able to do here in the terms of recruiting and making sure you've got the next one who's ready to step up. I mean, what Dana has done this year, and Jazz and Kylie, I mean, it's neat because they went from being, really good role players, more than role players, but they weren't the go-to. And now all of a sudden they're the go-to, and they've really embraced it. So we're going to continue to do what we do, and we're really excited about, our 2 that were named McDonald's All-Americans. But I also say that. I said, it's all because you're McDonald's All-American does not mean you're going to be a great college basketball player. Angel McCoughtry was not a McDonald's All-American. I think she turned out okay. Shoni Schimmel, I don't believe, was a McDonald's All-American either. It's a wonderful award for these players, but it doesn't mean it's why I laugh at people when they're like, "You got 6 McDonald's All-Americans." Well, what's it mean? There's a big difference if you get 6 number 1 players in the class. Now all of a sudden you're talking. If we had 6 Asias, it would have been pretty good. But you still have to go out and perform. There's a lot of players that we've had here. Jazz was not a McDonald's All-American. I mean, we've had a lot of players who have had great careers for us. And, we don't just go out and try to recruit, hey, is this player going to be a McDonald's All-American? We go out and recruit kids that we think can come in here and contribute and be a part of our ball club. Because I'll say it again, we not only have really good basketball players, we have great young women. I mean, you can go back a long time, and I think we have done nothing but represent this university, this city, with nothing but class. And it's not always done everywhere, but our women's basketball program has been spectacular. It's because of the players.
Forgive my curiosity here. You already talked earlier this week about Norika's situation, but
Yep.
I noticed her on the bench furiously taking notes. Can you shed some light on what that was?
I talked to her at halftime. I mean, the one thing I love about the kid is she really wants to learn the game. So she's got her notepad, and she's taking notes as the game is going on. And Kiana is sitting next to her, which has been remarkable because Kiana's helping her during timeouts. Like, hey, what's coach saying? What's he trying to get? And Norika wants to be an Olympian for Japan basketball. That's why she came to the States. She told me her dream is to win a medal in the Olympics with Team Japan. And in order to do that, you're probably going to have to beat Team USA. So her mindset was, what better way to do that than come to the United States and play against Americans? And I was just so impressed with the maturity that she has in the thought process that she has towards that. She wants to learn the game. She wants to really figure out, like she told me coming out of halftime, she's like, I want to learn to think like you. And I told her that's not always good. And I said that, and I said, nah, I don't know about it all the time. But it's impressive to me that a freshman, has that type of maturity to sit there and take notes during a game. Thank y'all for staying out. I know it's late, and I really appreciate it. Sunday, we're 4:00. We are up to 7,200 tickets sold for the USA basketball game. I'm really trying to get 10,000. I think it's an ESPN game. It'd be great to be able to put a great showing on national TV right before the Super Bowl. And I hope